I'm Thom, an architect in Vancouver. The office is kind of like a jazz band, right? We kind of let loose. Obviously, I probably set the key that we're going to play in. I probably say a few things about what I thought is important, and then we just kind of let it roll. I've never let money be the problem, and I've never let money be the starting point. I start first by understanding the culture, the site, the history, and the society that I'm designing for. And not am I looking for what is good to change, but more importantly, I'm looking for what is it that won't change. That continuity that will take us through. So I'm not interested in the newest library. I'm interested in asking, well, what were libraries about? What gave rise to libraries? So I always try to go back in time, but go back enough time that I can find the continuity to the present and the future. Well, I think in this case of Surrey, obviously the client was the city. It was enormously helpful because we did Central City, and the city is enormously proud of that. But more importantly, the client was the chief librarian, Beth Barlow, and she's a very experienced librarian who had very clear ideas what she wanted. You know, generally she just said, okay, Bing, here's the rough program, here's what I need, the rest is up to you. And so it was a very kind of easy relationship. The tougher one was with the community, because it's a very young community and very diverse. And we had to build this building very quickly. We went immediately into social media. So we created a blog site, we had Twitter, and we did Facebook, all the stuff that young kids are into. And of course, Surrey is a very young community. And then we went directly into the high schools and worked with the high school students and got them engaged in designing furniture, because we felt it wasn't realistic to ask them to look at buildings, but furniture was something they kind of get used to. So we brought a whole lot of Play-Dohs and a lot of crayons, and we just asked them to draw the kinds of furniture that they think they would like in the library. And some of these ideas ended up in the library. From the day we were hired to the day we finished was 18 months, $30 million, 80,000 square feet, right? So you couldn't even do a house that fast. I think my sense of Vancouver right now is that it's at a very critical point of transition. Either we'll continue to be a resort and a retirement home for the rich, or we will have a chance to rebalance our city and find the continuity of the soul of what Vancouver is about. And I think what we have the opportunity to do with the existing art gallery site, the old courthouse, and the Georgia Street Plaza, is to make it the heart and soul of the cultural life of Vancouver. And whereas Vancouver has this enormous potential, this huge kind of gathering of talent that's unrecognized by our own people in the city. Recognized all over the world when we get away from here, but not recognized in our own city. And so we need to grow up about that. You know, Vancouver is still an adolescent city, still a very young city with a lot of people from different places. And so sometimes we don't find our own identity, and it is through culture and art that we can establish our identity. So I think we're at that turning point for our city. But there is the whole issue of affordability. How do we maintain the young family and the young people here, giving them opportunity? That is a huge challenge. But I think it is through culture and art that we do that.